Dee Evans with Larry and B. Fath play with our country band on Thursdays, and they will now entertain us with a couple of numbers. Please welcome Dee, Larry, and B.
I'm Minnie Earl, and we're the Hayshakers. We're just as proud as punch to be invited back this year for your Orchid Lake Shindig. Well, after our welcome last year, we thought we just might move down here. But the park manager, Miss Terry, I gotta tell you, she said I couldn't bring my one-eyed dog, my milk cow, or my chickens. Well, I tried to tell her that they're my service animals. But for some reason, she didn't believe me. We have lots of folks back home that service these animals, so I don't know what to do. Anyway, I couldn't leave them back in Marquise and Holler, so my cousin Bubba had to stay back to keep an eye on them. And I talked to Aunt Bee and Uncle Larry into coming along with me tonight. Well, anyway, we all got gussied up in our Sunday go-to-meeting clothes, and hell, Aunt Bee, she even washed her feet for you. I'm telling you, she was so excited for the chance to come back and play. She had almost peed her pants. I guess I was wrong, but anyway. Before we start our numbers, I want to tell you a couple stories about Aunt Bee and Uncle Larry. The first one I got to talk about is on their wedding day. Yep, Uncle Bee and Aunt Larry, they were coming back. Bee was the new bride. And they were riding a team of horses back from the chapel in the wagon. It was pulled by horses, and one of the older horses stumbled. Uncle Larry said, "That's once." A little bit farther along, the poor old horse stumbled again. Uncle Larry said, "That's twice." After a little while, the poor horse stumbled again. Uncle Larry didn't say anything. He just reached under the seat, pulled out a shotgun, and shot that horse dead. Bang! Well, Aunt Bee, you can just imagine her take on this. She being the new bride and all. She yelled at him saying, "That was just an awful thing to do." Uncle Larry looked at her and said, "That's once." Things got better. They really did. They were pretty excited. They had 3 children. In fact, they were just down here this Thursday night to celebrate Larry's birthday. But anyway, they were pretty excited in having their first baby. So after a week or so, Auntie Bee, she thought she could use a little break. So she went up to Ripon to visit some of her kinfolk, and Uncle Larry stayed back, proud father. Well, it was only a short time before that baby started to cry. Well, Uncle Larry, he got all worked up, tried all the tricks that he could remember Aunt Bee doing, but there was no avail. Why, he even brought in that old milk cow to feed the baby, but that didn't work either. Finally, after a half-hour desperation, he went to see old Doc Miller. He was just down the holler from where he lived. And, Doc Miller, he checked everything out, and, he came back and he said, "Well, Uncle Larry, it has a dirty diaper." Larry said, "I knew that it had a dirty diaper, but the package said specifically that it was good up to 8 pounds. I talked about Cousin Bubba. He's kind of a little bit of a redneck. He decided he was going to save up to get a new fandangled hand glider. So he orders it from Sears and Roebuck catalog from the one holer out back. He was lucky that they hadn't used that page yet. Anyway, 3 weeks later it arrives. So Cousin Bobby, he goes to the tallest mountain around Marquise and Holler, and after struggling to the top, he gets ready to take flight. And he takes off running, reaches the end, and into the wind he goes. Well, meanwhile, Auntie Bee and Uncle Larry, they're sitting on the front porch. Auntie Bee looks up and she spots the biggest bird she's ever seen. "Look the size of that bird, Pa," she said. Pa raises up. "Ma, get my gun." So Auntie Bee, she runs into the house and brings out that double-barrel shotgun she's real familiar with. She takes careful aim and bang, bang. The monster bird continues to sail silently over the tops of the trees. I think you missed him, Pa, she said. Yeah, he replied, but at least he let go of Bubba. You know, a few years ago, Uncle Larry was at a marriage counseling meeting with his preacher, and several other of them married husbands in Marquise and Holler. And you know, he's been having some difficulties over the year with Aunt Bee, making mistakes while playing with the hay shakers. So he thought that this just might be the ticket of what he could use to help himself. So anyway, they were all gathered around, and the preacher started by asking everyone how long they'd been married. Well, when it was Uncle Larry's turn, he said, well, I've been married for almost 50 years. Wow, the preacher said. That's an awful long time. Would you mind sharing some insights with everybody on how you stayed married that long with the same woman? Well, Uncle Larry thought for a few minutes. And he said, well, you know, I try to treat her nice. I buy her presents. I just got her a brand new cast iron fry pan. And, you know, things like that. And then he said, but, you know, the major thing was for our 25th anniversary, I took her to the Bahamas. Well, the preacher said, boy, that's really beautiful. Taking her to the Bahamas like that. Maybe you can tell us what you're going to do for your 50th anniversary, he said with a smile. Well, Uncle Larry said, well, you know, I'm thinking about going back to the Bahamas and picking her up. Well, anyway, that's going to take us into our songs that we're going to do for you tonight. And let's see here. Yeah, well, we got a problem. There we go. So anyway, there was a verse that Ron and Dorothy missed on their first song. And so we're going to start out with that last verse that they missed on the Rooster song, which is an old Irish folk tune. And we're doing this in key C. That one. C. 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 We had a rooster. He was very gay. We had a rooster. He was funny that way. My wife said, honey, we're losing money because that rooster is very gay. One day a chicken came in our yard and caught that rooster out behind the barn. He's laying hens now, just like he used to, ever since that rooster came in our yard. He's laying hens now, just like he used to, ever since that rooster came in our yard. That was the last verse that they forgot. But that kind of takes us into our song that we're going to do. Since he met him out behind the barn, that's exactly what this song is called by little Jimmy Dickens. Out behind the barn. Just a minute. We're getting there. My pappy used to tend my hide out behind